Hello, it's me, Christine. Welcome to my little crime corner. We are in Germany today. How exciting! This is our first case here. We have a lot of locations, so please pardon my pronunciation. It has been some time, but I will do my very best. Today's case is about a young woman named Yolonda Klug. Yolanda was born in Baden-Württemberg, Germany, to parents Annette and Peter Klug. Both Annette and Peter were Scientology members. Peter was a high-ranking member who had taken courses on the Scientology cruise ship Freewinds, which is the exclusive training center for OT8, which is the highest level of Scientology and the last of the published OT levels. There are 15 levels, but no one makes it past 8, and it's thought that these additional levels don't even exist, but they're talked about to keep members interested and invested on taking and retaking courses under the guise that they need to prepare for what's next. Anyway, that is a whole nother animal that we will get to someday. Not today. Interestingly for me, when researching the Freewinds, its initial port of registry was in Bremen, which is where I lived for a period. Yolanda's mother, Annette, worked as a press officer for the Swiss branch of Scientology. Yolanda also had a younger sister named Elisa, who had attended Scientology courses with her, but Yolanda decided to leave Scientology in 2017 and join the Zeal Church, which was a neo-charismatic free church in Germany. Yolanda was in regular attendance at the church for more than 2 years, and she ended up getting baptized there. As Yolanda got older, her parents did separate, and her mother eventually relocated to South Africa with her new partner, as well as her younger sister Elisa. While there, both Annette and Elisa continued to work for a local Scientology branch. Later, Elisa ended up joining the Sea Org and eventually moved to the United States. Yolanda was a student at Leipzig University of Applied Sciences, studying architecture. 5 months earlier, she had moved into an apartment on Königstrasse in Leipzig with another female roommate. In the first week of September, she had traveled to California to visit with her father and sister. After returning back to Leipzig later that month, her father also came back because he had a scheduled business trip. On September 24th, Yolanda and her father had met for dinner, where they caught up, and she told him her plans for the following day. She told him of her planned trip to go to the IKEA location in Güntersdorf to get some things that she needed for her apartment. Some things that she mentioned in particular that she needed were flower pots, curtains, and drinking glasses. She also told him that later that evening, she had plans to meet up with her friend to go to a movie screening at the local art school. The following day, September 25th, at around 3 p.m., Yolanda left her apartment in Leipzig and most likely went to the train station to make her way to IKEA. Yolanda was last seen at Südplatz, and after that, her whereabouts were unaccounted for. She seemingly vanished. According to one of her friends, a teacher from her school had tried to contact her in a message through an app very soon after Yolanda's disappearance. She had never responded, but several weeks after her disappearance, the app had shown that she was online, so this would indicate that Yolanda or someone else was using her phone at the time. It was also discovered that Yolanda had a trip planned to Jordan and had already booked the plane tickets several weeks before she disappeared, and the tickets were never used. Luckily, Police were notified of Yolanda's disappearance on the very day she went missing. They arrived to her apartment with a detection dog later that evening, which led them to Zuidplatz, where the trail ended. The police believe that is where Yolanda boarded a train. Yolanda being missing was very concerning to her family since she had a known medical condition where she would sporadically faint. Investigators thought that she might have fainted somewhere along her journey, so they did their best to retrace her steps based on where they knew she went. The police then visited all these locations with their scent dogs, hoping to be able to pick up another trail. They were fortunately able to pick up a scent at the bus station in Leipzig, as well as the Güntersdorf IKEA and the art school campus, where she was supposed to attend the movie screening with her friend. Because they had this trail to go on, they primarily focused their search on the art school campus, as when they got there, they discovered a very large excavation hole, which they promptly sealed off. Following the scent dog's direction, they looked in the campus's basement, as the dog had signaled the scent of a corpse. They discovered that there was a recently installed AC unit that had been connected to the main excavation hole. A survey was then done of the site, which unfortunately did not turn up anything. Police then brought in a ground-penetrating radar and drilled 33 holes, and 3 different scent dogs checked each one. This too, unfortunately, turned up nothing. In the weeks following Yolanda's disappearance, several divers were brought in to search the Mühlgraben, which is a branch of the Zaale, which is near Berg Wittgenstein, and this too turned up nothing. Their next stop was to search the surroundings of the IKEA in Güntersdorf, and they had a team of more than 60 volunteers to help in their search. Although we vaguely know where she went and knew what she had planned to do on the day she disappeared, police were very limited in what they could actually search and verify. They knew that she got on a bus, but the security cameras at the public transit stations in Leipzig were automatically deleted after 24 hours, and by the time police realized they needed to review the footage, it was too late. It is suspected that Yolanda would have most likely taken the bus line 131 from Leipzig-Westplatz to the IKEA in Güntersdorf. The buses were not equipped with video cameras, so there was no evidence that she had actually gotten on the bus, but a bus driver on the route says he does remember seeing Yolanda on his bus. There was footage available from the IKEA store, and after being analyzed by investigators, they determined that it was inconclusive regarding if she had made it to the store or not. Investigators had found that Yolanda's cell phone had logged out of network just after 2 p.m. on the day that she went missing, and after that, they had been unable to locate it. Being that Yolanda is an adult, there was of course the possibility that she had left on her own and just not told anyone about it. We know in this case that her up and leaving is probably unlikely, since she had readily shared plans she had with her father, as well as making her other plans with a friend, and having a scheduled trip to which she had already bought the tickets further lessens this likelihood. But you have to consider every possibility, especially when time is of the essence. This scenario would have made more sense if she had taken her passports and bank cards with her, but she didn't. All of these items were uncovered upon the search of her apartment. So if she did run off, she wouldn't have gotten very far. Records show that since Yolanda had disappeared, there hadn't been any activity on her bank cards or on her account. The possibility that she had disappeared as a result of a robbery had been ruled out when police discovered that there was 8,000 euros in her account, which remained untouched. An instance was brought to police's attention where a former teacher had said that during a camping trip in 2015, Yolanda had left the group she was in and went and spent the night in the woods alone. He said that she then returned back to the group in the morning. Because of this occurrence, he had described Yolanda as being independent-minded and outgoing, and had suggested that her disappearance might have been a consequence of these traits. I feel like since the beginning of this video, you've been waiting for something that has to do with her history with Scientology. It was noted in initial reports that were released to the public that she had high-ranking Scientology family members, including ones who had left the church. So investigators had to wonder, did her Scientology background have anything to do with her sudden disappearance? As news reports of her disappearance continued to circulate, a spokesperson from the local Scientology chapter confirmed that they were cooperating with German authorities, as well as having conducted their own internal investigation regarding Yolanda's potential whereabouts. The findings of this report were not released.
The case gained more attention in July of 2022,
when her story was featured on a German TV show called Achtenzeichen XY Ungelöst, which basically translates to case number X ... unsolved. This is a program which aims to solve cases through a series of scenarios and asks viewers for help. Each episode has 3 to 5 short films in which the crime is reconstructed and provides details of the sequence of events, as well as having in-studio interviews and photos from the case, and information on contacting the authorities if you have any knowledge or information to pass on. This seems like a great show, and something like 40% of the cases that are showcased end up being solved. So this is a great sign. In her episode, police were specifically asking the public if anyone had seen her at Begewichtenstein, and asked if anyone had photos or video footage from the movie screening event. A witness did come forward after seeing the episode in October, and police released a new report based on the witness claiming they had seen Yolanda on the day she disappeared, just around 3 p.m. at the tram station Richard-Lechmann-Straße, Hochschule für Technik und Wirtschaft. The witness says Yolanda was talking to a man specifically about going to IKEA. It is believed that from there, Yolanda took a train in the direction of Kunewitz, which is a nearby district of Leipzig. Another witness, a truck driver, said he saw Yolanda walking along the Saale Elster channel in Güntersdorf, which is very close to the IKEA, and said she had crossed a bridge towards Road Bundesstraße 181. In between the bridge and the main road, there was a parking lot, and she might have gotten into a car with an Esslingen license plate. Esslingen is a town in Baden-Württemberg. Since this report had been released, there was more speculation in the media about Scientology's potential role in the case, as Esslingen happened to be one of Scientology's main centers in Germany. The police had also gotten a tip regarding a possible connection to Scientology's European headquarters, which were in Copenhagen, although this tip did not produce any more clues. In early 2023, Yolanda's family had offered a €10,000 reward for any information regarding her whereabouts. But tragically, on February 25th, 2023, Yolanda's remains had been discovered by a hiker in a part of a forest near Freiburg in Saxony-Anhalt. Bone fragment analysis confirmed that this was Yolonda Klug. The following week, on March 2nd, Yolanda's phone was found in the woods, along with some bone fragments. Her cause of death is unknown, but investigators say there is no evidence of foul play, but the investigation is still ongoing. I really don't know how they determined that there was no foul play. I mean, she was found deep in the forest that is in the opposite direction of where she was intending on going that day. In order to get where she was found, she would have had to have taken 3 different trains over the course of an hour and a half to get there, again, in the opposite direction. To me, it seems like something more is going on. I don't believe this was an accident. If police want to say she fainted, why would she be so far away, randomly deep in the woods? I'm interested in knowing your thoughts on this case and how it was handled. I'm hoping for a more conclusive investigation as more time passes, hoping someone else might come forward, or someone or some business has their security footage backed up somewhere and can one day maybe give police some potential clues. There's not a lot of information available on this case, and I don't know if that's deliberate or not. I'm not making any accusations. I just think something else is going on, and I have a hard time believing that no one saw anything. What do you think about the circumstances of her mysterious disappearance and death? This one has really been on my mind for some time, and I know there's more to this. Yolanda told her dad exactly where she was going, or where she had intended to go, and to an extent, this helped. Without this information, I don't know where police would be able to begin. Just a reminder to always be careful and be aware of your surroundings, and let the people you trust know where you are. I hope this is one of those cases that either gets renewed interest or there's suddenly a break. Anything for Yolanda's family to get justice. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.